So we just did worst case scenario, likelihood around 10%, right? 10, maximum 20. Best case scenario, I'll give it 20%, I'm a little bit more optimistic. So 30% are gone, right? So this scenario here, the realistic scenario, I'm giving you 60 to up to 70% likelihood, okay? So that brings it up to 100% chances. So if you haven't seen the other two videos, please watch the other two videos. And in this scenario, and I'm sharing that with most of my colleagues, the real estate experts in Berlin, all the big commercial firms, we're all believing in that scenario, of course. So the realistic scenario means nothing gonna happen, right? Nothing gonna happen is very German, of course, very slow, very bureaucratic, but it also gives you concrete options you should consider as a buyer or seller. Nothing's gonna happen. It means that for you as an expert or international client living in Berlin, you only pay 3.5% to 4% interest, pretty much the same like today. You need a deposit of around 20% up to 50% deposit, but price is gonna stay stable, maybe 3% increase by the end of the year. It's not going to go up by 5 or 10%, right? And what you buy today is pretty much the same value what you're going to buy by the end of the year, right? So everything's going to stay the same. From a realistic scenario, it also means that these buyers who are out there today, they will observe the market. What's the reason for them to wait until the end of the year, right? There's not a lot of rental accommodation on the market. Rent is expensive, especially in new builds, short-term letting. So people are actually looking to buy. I think if you believe in the realistic scenario, you should not wait. If you can afford the piece of real estate, go ahead and buy it. Make a compromise in the location and maybe in the size. I don't think if you believe in the realistic smoothensscenario that everything is going to stay stable, we're having a little bit of uncertainty, but interest, inflation, the geopolitical stuff are gonna, smoothen out a little bit. Nothing terrible is gonna happen. Then you definitely should buy in Berlin. Definitely buy as a buyer now. Don't wait until the end of the year, because at the end of the year, all the experts believe you're going to have a higher price market per unit than now, right? So because now we're coming out of a very average year, 2024 wasn't a great transaction year, and prices in the year 2024 have stayed pretty much stable, and we think this year is going to be the similar way, but a little bit up curve, right? So that's for the buyer side. From a seller side, the things look a little bit different though, right? So first of all, I'm always asking the people who are selling, what do you think, what are you going to do with the money? What the reason for you're selling? If you think the market is going to stay stable and you have other investment opportunities and the market only goes up by, let's call it 3, maximum 5%, where you can put the money elsewhere. The market, if the market stays stable, yeah, there you go. I mean, you can put it in the stock market, you can put it in different kind of real estate, which you maybe now can buy pretty cheap because a lot of people are now selling because they have to sell. Maybe you can make a couple of bargains, shift a little bit the risk with your family, give it to your children, to your partner, whatever. So I think to wait 12 months in order to get a huge amount of money on your bank account, just getting 3% more, I don't think it's going to make sense for you. If you don't think the market's going to go up significantly, try and sell it now as a seller, right? If you have other things, other means you can do with the money. If you think the market's going to stay the same and you are a seller and you have no other areas where you want to invest money to, please don't expect that by the end of the year, even you keep the apartment and sell slowly, that you're going to get so much more money that waiting 6 months or 12 months is going to pay you off. Exceptions are a little bit the rental apartments. So if you have a tenanted apartment where a sitting tenant is in there, he or she doesn't want to buy the apartment and you're going to sell that to an investor, that maybe will be a little bit harder by end of the year because investors buying real estate in Berlin, if it's very regulated, are very conservative. They usually only buy new builds. So having said that, as a seller, if you sell to people who want to move in, I think now is a great time. If you sell to capital investors, people who want to buy that as a retirement, etc., we have to make a distinction between, do you have your 10-year tax period over or not? Do you sell a new build or an old build, right? So that's the topic. So I hope you enjoyed the 3 little videos. If you want to contact our team at blacklabel-properties.com, we speak several languages, not only English and German. Please feel free to contact us on blacklabel-properties.com. Thank you for watching.